No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. I'm in here today. I got my man Remo with me, and we officially tapping in and doing the Dom Corleo interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's official. It's going down. Official. And introduce us to your friend here as well.
This is Bristow. A lot of people probably know Bristow already.
I'm a producer. Produce a couple songs you might know.
You guys think of yourselves as like a real rapper-producer duo, or is it just a temporary thing?
No, I'd say so.
I think we a rock band.
Yeah, we're a little rock band, a little duo.
Yeah. How y'all meet? How y'all get tapped in with each other?
Yeah, me and Bristow met like 5-6 years ago? Like 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah, because I was just I had started making music, and then I was just networking through like Instagram and yeah, bro, just through a bunch of producers I was networking with.
Through like YouTube and shit.
Actually, no. I met Bristow. He was making YouTube type beats, and I had found one of your beats on YouTube, right?
Mm.
And then I just hit him up, and I was just like, yo, like you're hard, and pause. But
very necessary.
I hit him up, and we just like locked in, and just from there, bro, like I got connected with all his homies, and then we just became a big ass friend group. So
okay,
yeah.
So even before that though, like musically, or what was your childhood like? Give us a little bit of insight into that.
I mean, pretty standard childhood. Like I grew up, with both my parents. I grew up I'm from California, so I was
up
born
north, right?
Yeah. Wait, what was that? My bad.
Up north?
Yeah, so I was born, where like Roseville is at? It's kind of by Sacramento.
Okay.
So I was born there, lived there for about 10 years in this little city called Rockland. And then I moved out to the Bay Area when I was about like 10, 11. And, went to middle school there. Actually, I finished off elementary there, went to middle school, graduated high school in the Bay. And then I moved out to Arizona for 2 years because my parents got a crib out there.
Mm. So what were your parents doing during all this?
What, like growing up?
Or like career-wise or whatever, yeah.
My dad does audio-visual. Like ever since I've grown up, he's always done audio-visual. So like he'll go, I don't know, like he does cool shit. Like they've done shit with like electronic arts. I remember when I was young, he always used to bring me to like the EA headquarters to like get games and shit. They'd have that little store in there. So they do shit where like they set up the conference rooms like something like this. So like the audio, I don't even know, like that, like all the audio equipment, he would do all that shit. So
I feel like most of my life I knew what my dad did, but I didn't actually really know what he was doing at work a lot of the time.
Yeah, he would like bring me to work with him here and there, so I got to see like all the shit he would do. And then my mom was always doing like apartment leasing, and like she would always be like, I know when I was in high school, the complex we lived at, she was the manager there. So, she was always doing that. Actually, when I was younger, she worked at a casino. It was like a hotel casino, and she worked in like the hotel area as like the manager there. So I used to go to the casino when I was young and like go and run around there. So that was fun as yeah.
That's what's up.
But I lived in Arizona for 2 years, and then I moved out here to LA like the beginning of this year.
Okay. You didn't like Arizona?
Bro, it's just so dry there. There's not shit going on there. Like, I mean, it's nice. It's nice if you're like retired.
Exactly.
My parents love it because it's quiet. They've got a nice house, which, wasn't expensive. Because, coming from the Bay Area is the most expensive place to live now. It's ridiculous out there. So they went, they got a nice house, and it's kind of like west of Phoenix, like 20 minutes west of Phoenix.
Okay.
And they love it. It's just, bro, it's too hot. And it's just, it's not much going on, like, as far as music.
Arizona seems good when we're talking to drill artists and they're talking about moving to Arizona, like, to get away from, like, all the murders in the city they grew up in. But for someone who lives in, like, L.A., I just cannot imagine how much more boring it would be to move out there.
Yeah, bro, it's not. I was just actually there this past week just visiting my parents. But, it ain't really going on there. They've got, like, a little scene, but it's just, I don't know, bro. It's the desert, so,
So you feel like the Bay is more home for you?
Yeah, the Bay's definitely home because that's where I spent. I say like where you're from is where you grow up. So like me, I did end of elementary, middle school, high school, all in the Bay Area. So that's definitely like where I would say I'm from.
So were you making music in like when you were in high school? or when did that start?
Yeah, so I started making music when I was 15. So I think I was like a sophomore. And it was actually funny. Like, it started as a joke. Like, me and my homeboys would just go over to each other's crib, and we had like a little PlayStation headset, and we downloaded Audacity, and we were just like around doing freestyles. And then, you know, it went from that to where I was going back to my house. I had like this little setup. I had there was this girl at my school that sold me like a snowball mic for like $20. And I made this little setup where I put cardboard like around it to do like the, you know, to block out the noise. And, you know, it went from freestyling at my friend's crib to recording at home when I got home from school. And then like I would bring my shit over to my friend's crib and I would record at his crib, you know? So like, yeah, it just, I don't know, it's kind of weird how it came to be, but it, you know, it's just something that I immediately like grew a passion for. And at that time too, like, you know, I was big in the SoundCloud shit. Like, I loved every SoundCloud rapper that was popping at that time. So
like, what era of SoundCloud rap we talking?
Like X, Uzi,
okay,
like that. You know, that was when I was a freshman. Like, I remember I found X when I was like in 8th grade, and then when I was like a freshman is when he started blowing up. So like that, you know, and that whole SoundCloud scene started blowing up. That was like 2016. So I just yeah, you know, I was heavily influenced by all that. Like, I, you know, seeing all these guys and just being like, I was never good in school, so I was always, you know, I had my headphones in, just listening to music.
Were you like a popular kid, or were you kind of a loner?
Nah, I was to myself, bro. I just put my headphones in. Hell no. I put my headphones in, just get my shit done, and, you know, I go kick it with my homeboys and smoke weed, like, in the car on break. So I didn't really, I was never really around nobody like that.
So when you moved to LA, was that primarily because of the music? And did you actually have traction, or like were you doing any numbers at that point?
Yeah, so I moved to LA like right after it really like took off, because, you know, I had been making music for like 5 years, but really didn't take off until like the end of 2022. I had dropped that this one song, Penthouse Shorty, like August 2022, and I put it on TikTok. Actually, I put it on TikTok like right before I dropped it, and the snippet just like blew up, just got huge. And you know, just from there, like I dropped the song did really good. I just stayed really consistent, kept dropping. You know, every drop I was putting out, I was just staying really consistent with TikTok too, and every drop I was putting out was just doing really good. So obviously when that starts happening, you know, labels start hitting you up and everybody starts reaching out. So like, in this time period, like the end of 2022, you know, I was going back and forth. Just me and my manager were flying out to LA like every week to do all these meetings and, you know, meet with all these different people and get in studios with this person and that person. So yeah, it was just really hectic going back and forth. So it was just easier for me to make the move out here. And by the time I did move out here, I was a lot more established with what I was doing. So.
And did you already sign?
Yeah, so it's not a record deal. It's a distribution deal.
Okay.
So I have a distribution deal, and then I have a pub admin deal.
Okay. Who'd you sign with?
My distribution deal is with an indie label called New 11. So they were actually really close with my manager. It's two guys that own the label. And they were already really close with my manager. My manager had already, you know, brought them a bunch of deals, and he was seeing what they were doing for other artists. So he was like, yo, you should with them. You know, they really with you. They would love to just start with something small. And, you know, like I wanted to obviously be smart about it, because these major labels come to you and they're offering you, a little bag, but they locking you in for 6 years. And it's like, you know, you go to a major label as a small artist, they've got artists like Uzi, and, you know, what makes me believe that they're going to prioritize me over artists like that? Definitely. You know, there's a lot of labels are just looking for a quick buck when it comes down to that. Like, you know, they see a TikTok hit, of course they want to sign you because they want to make that money off that TikTok hit you got. So, yeah, I mean, I knew I didn't want to sign to a major off the bat like that. So, yeah, I ended up, you know, fucking with these two guys that my manager was close with. They had their own little shit going, and it just worked out, bro. I took, like, a small distribution deal with them off the bat. Got those. It was, like, 15 songs. Got those out the way, and then re-signed with them for, obviously, like, a lot larger amount.
And so when you first started getting any kind of viral going on or whatever, was it primarily on TikTok? Like you just kind of kept putting yourself out there on TikTok and just random clips started doing well?
Yeah, bro. It was just TikTok. Like, and it wasn't even that other people were posting shit. It was just me, like, and I would just post this most simple shit, too. Like, for example, the shit that blew up was just like a snippet of the music video, and the music video was just full shot on VHS. Like, I wanted it to be super simple, just because I knew like what would gain that traction at that time. So I told my videographer homie, I was like, bro, look, let's do this mad simple. We'll just go, VHS the whole thing. I'm gonna post a clip on TikTok, and we hope for the best. And from there, it just took off. So as soon as that took off, obviously I took advantage. I was just using like the sound on TikTok, making videos with it like as much as I could every day, every other day, and every video would do really good, because that's kind of the way TikTok is. It's weird, bro. They have like a weird algorithm where like if you catch that algorithm and you're posting a certain way, like every video you post is gonna go up. And as soon as you kind of let go of it, where like now I'm at the point where I kind of let go of that. So now when I post TikToks, they're not gonna do as good as like it was before. So I kind of gotta get back in that algorithm. But yeah, I mean, at this time, bro, like everything was just going up.
Why did you fall back from like doing TikToks? Like,
bro,
you
I
don't want
just
to be like,
so like it's not even that I didn't want to be anything. Like, I don't mind doing TikToks. I don't see anything wrong with TikTok.
You start to feel like Addison Rae?
Nah, not that type of TikTok.
It's like you're doing a little too much.
Yeah, nah. I mean, everybody uses TikTok. You see like Yeat making TikToks, and no, there ain't nothing wrong with it.
Big percentage of artists have like a person on their team who's in charge of coming up with TikTok ideas for them at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I remember when I first started doing it, I was like, bro, like, I don't got no ideas. Because everybody was making these TikToks, like, where they got this whole caption, they post it and they've got like my music, this, that. Like, bro, I was literally just posting videos, like, just a video of me with no like caption or anything. And I would just put like, or like if the song was dropping Friday, the caption would be Friday. And it's just a video of me like with the song playing.
Because as an artist, there's a lot of stuff that you could do on YouTube or TikTok or whatever that might go viral or be good for getting you out there, but ultimately will kind of make you look like a piece of corny to a lot of the fan base. So there's a lot of weird decisions to make like that,
Yeah, you don't want to make it in a certain way where like it looks a type of way. And, obviously going along with my career, I've done that, I probably shouldn't have done, or that looked a certain way. That, that small thing can affect like a lot, and, it can affect how a lot of people look at you. But yeah, no, I don't see nothing wrong with, doing TikTok. It's definitely, I mean, it's free promo, bro. I didn't pay a dime to post any of those, and I got all that free engagement off of just solely posting those. So yeah, I mean, it did a lot for me.
So you started recording music in like 2017, and then you started constantly like posting TikToks, and like when does management come into play? Like, when did you decide, all right, I might need a manager? Or did they
when the TikTok, I was late to that, bro, because you had that wave of like underground artists blowing up like 2020, 2021. I didn't do that till like the year after, 2022, because I remember when all those artists were blowing up, the first way I looked at it, I was like, this is corny, like, you know what I mean? But then, you kind of realize like, I don't know, I just had like a realization. I was like, all right, because I had tried to post TikToks before and they didn't do anything. So I was like, damn, like, people not doing my shit, or, this and that. And then that's when a year later, I give it another try. I'm like, all right, let me just try it out. But actually, I actually got management right before. So I first linked my manager in, I think it was like May 2022. And then there was this one song, I had posted a snippet on Instagram, went up a little bit. I had dropped that like a month after I first signed with my manager for like under a management deal. Cause I never had a manager before, I was just doing everything solo for like, since I started. And then, so, obviously getting that manager helped a lot because he was just doing everything on the business side. Like, it was kind of perfect timing because he started managing me, shit started going up. That's when labels start reaching out. And as soon as labels start reaching out, I had him doing all the talking and doing all the business side of shit because I mean, as an artist, bro, like, I was super new to all that. I didn't know about business, the business side of things. All I knew was talking to a mic and make music. So I didn't know anything about, because a lot of artists get screwed, bro. They sign a deal and they get screwed because they don't know shit. They see a dollar sign and sign. You know what I mean? So, it was kind of just perfect timing getting that manager.
When you get management though, like from your perspective, what are they bringing to the table that you didn't really have before that?
I think just an extra hand, bro. I mean, obviously a manager, it's their job. You know, if you have a good manager, it's their job to push you, you know, the most they can, because they're making money off you. So at the end of the day, they want you to make money because that's where they're getting their money. So I think, yeah, if you have a dedicated manager, bro, like it's just really, it's like an extra hand in everything. And they're obviously on top of helping you, doing all this talking for you and doing all the business side of things. You know, they're pushing you. Like I have two managers. So I have my main manager who does like a lot more of the business, and then I have my day-to-day who's Sean. He's out there.
Okay.
So yeah, he's my main manager is in Canada, so he can't be with me all the time. So, you know, I got Sean, which Sean I've actually known for like 5 years. So, you know, I've been close with him damn near since I started. So yeah, you know, he just helps me out with everything on like a day-to-day basis type. So yeah, no, I think it's definitely helpful.
And they rep McConan as well?
Yeah, my main manager does McConan.
Okay.
I think he's done McConan for a while, longer than, you know, I've been with him.
Oh, interesting.
So my favorite song that you got out right now is Wake Up. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was the process of recording that? When did you record that song?
Like, it was like October 2022. It's funny, bro. That song was a throwaway. Like, I recorded I was at the studio, and I had just locked in with Benny X like a week prior to this. And so he sent me a bunch of beats. You know, he had sent me like probably 20 to 30 different beats. And so like that whole next week, I was just getting in the studio, you know, getting on like a couple of the beats here and there. And then he sent me that one that was with Filthy and then his little brother. And so I was like, this one is hard. Like, I want to get on this, but I didn't have no clue like what to do on it. You know, I didn't have any type of idea for it or anything. So I was like, all right, I'll just, you know, I'll wait till I get in the studio and I'll just try some on it. So I got in the studio and I pulled the beat up. I had my engineer pull the beat up, and I was just like around on it. And that like hook that's on that song was just like a throwaway, just demo hook. Like, I was just trying to, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's why it's like I'm not even really saying shit in that song. I was really just trying to find a flow and just find something that worked on that beat, because that beat was hard for me to get on. Like, I didn't know what to do on it at first. So I ended up recording that hook, and then I came back in the room and I was like, all right, like, just save that, you know? And so that song was just a hook. And I did a TikTok, like, where I just used this, I sped it up a little bit, like, just through like this little app I use where you could speed songs up. Yeah. And I posted it on TikTok, and the shit ended up just going crazy, bro. Like, blew up crazy first day. And the first day it blew up, I was like, damn, okay, like, we gotta do something with this. But there ended up being like a whole problem with the song where like somebody else had gotten on that same beat and they were supposed to drop it, and they didn't know if they was gonna drop it. So I ended up having to wait like 7 months until I could get that song cleared.
Wait, so the sped up version was the one that popped off?
Yeah, it was like sped up a little bit.
Is that kind of insulting, since there's so many times that this happens in the culture now where like the sped up version of a song ends up being the viral one?
The crazy thing too, so I went back to that song like 6 times before I actually fully finished it. Like, there's 6 different versions of that song with like 5 different verses. You know what I mean? Like, before I actually finalized it. Like, the original version that actually blew up. So when I had sent it to Benny X, the hook, he sent it back to me, and he did like a demo where he put vocals in the background. So it was the song, and it had Benny X's vocals in the background, like doing this like melodic vocal. And he was like, yo, like, do this melodic vocal in the background. So I hadn't had time to go to the studio, you know, after he sent me that. So I ended up just posting the video on TikTok, and it had his vocals in the background. And nobody even knows that it's his vocals in the background. But yeah, I mean, the song was like kind of sped up, but that ended up blowing up. And then when I dropped the actual song, people were like, oh, we want the OG version. I'm like, bro, it's dead ass. I didn't change nothing with the hook besides it being sped up. Yeah. And people are like, oh, sped up's better. I'm like, bro, what? Like, it's literally, it's the same shit. Like, you know what I mean?
So when you were like doing your whole thing musically, did you go out of your way to sort of tap in with the underground or like the new SoundCloud generation, with like opening up for people like Autumn and shit? Or
yeah,
that was stuff you were listening to at that time?
Hold on, before we get to that. Yeah. Because Diddy Bop he did his thing with the Wake Up song.
That shit came out of nowhere too,
So
bro.
how did
He ended up doing that. That shit ended up blowing up, and then as soon as that shit blew up, bro, my label was on that shit.
On it right after.
They were like, "Yo, like we need this kid to keep doing this, because whatever he doing it right." And I didn't even know like that shit was going on when it first happened, because I was kind of I wasn't on my phone as much at this time. Like I was, we were trying to plan tour and shit.
That shit happened way after it came out too.
Yeah, bro. Like that song, it happened probably like 6-7 months after the song
happened
came
like
out?
during the summer.
Yeah.
So I remember when we were at Rolling Loud, they kept trying to make you do the dance and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So like this was way down the line after the song dropped, and that shit kind of came out of nowhere. But as soon as he did that shit and it blew up, my label was just on it. They were like, "Yo, keep doing it, keep doing it."
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, that shit just became what it is. So
What's your friendship with Diddy Bob now? Since
I don't really talk to. I mean, I've tapped in with him, and, told him I fuck with him and shit, and we follow each other. But I've never like spoken to him like that, like had a convo with bro. But shit, I fuck with bro. He's cool.
So open up for Autumn and shit. Like was that was already the scene that you were feeling
so
at that time?
I met like Autumn shit back in when did I meet bro? I think like 2019 is when I not met him in person, but like over the internet. I found like that whole scene, and he had like 10,000 followers at this time. And I started making like the plug and B shit and like that whole realm of music.
Who got you interested in that? Because we were just talking a little.
It was Summers and Autumn that were like the first ones doing that shit for it, and Corey Lingo too.
They use that genre as well, though. Like they describe their shit as that.
that's plugging me,
Okay.
Yeah.
And Corey Lingo. We just interviewed Lil Sean too, and we in the interview, he gives credit to
Corey was really one of the first to to do that shit.
He was doing real ass like R&B vocals on it though, like
Corey
singing like
was doing-
Chris
yeah.
Brown on like plug beats.
Yeah, Corey was on those,
like
those beats
2018.
for a minute, bro. So it was like, man, it was like him, Summers, Autumn, Texaco. Who else, bro? I mean, Cito was on plug beats at this time, not plug and B, but I mean, kind of. It was like
It was like a whole Zangang wave.
Yeah, it's like Zangang, Mexico Dro.
Yeah, well,
Stupid
really
Cool.
just really Zangang. Like he was the one that
that's the plug and B shit. Zangang was
he
doing the plug and B shit.
Yeah, like Corey started that
Dro and
shit.
them were like more just the bass plug, like old Cardi plug
Like the
type
trap
shit.
shit,
Yeah. But yeah, so I found that music back in like 2018, and then I started tapping in with them like closer to 2019, and we were just in a bunch of group chats and shit. Like even Shine, bro, like me and Shine were talking when he was like a jit, bro. He was like 12, 13 years old. But yeah, bro, like at this time there were just this wave of group chats. Like that was the thing at the time. It was just group chats. So like everybody had these little collectives with their group chats on Instagram. So even like artists like Wyland and shit, even Yeat, bro, like I've known Yeat since like 2019 just through group chats.
Really?
Yeah, like shit goes way back because he was in the same group, just kicking it with the same folks. So
Summers and Autumn.
yeah.
So when people say that they feel like you sound like Yeat, is that just them not seeing the influences that you both have from the same scene?
I don't know. I just think that shit's funny, bro. I don't know.
I think it's the white rapper thing, honestly.
Yeah, it's either that or it's just I feel like if somebody says that, they just haven't listened to enough of like that type of music. Because it's like they hear Yeat because obviously Yeat is the most mainstream aspect that's came up from the underground. And then they're like, any rapper that's rapping on a beat remotely similar or anything, they're like, oh, that sounds like Yeat. You know what I mean? Because it's all derived from the same flow and the same, everybody's got the same influences. Like we're all influenced by Thug, we're all influenced by Future, and everybody, obviously we did our own thing with it in that little like niche pocket of things, but everybody's influenced by the same people, so it comes from the same shit.
That's like if you're like a drill rapper in Chicago coming up around like soon after Chief Keef blew up. It's like everybody who doesn't really pay super close attention to the genre is gonna tell you that you're trying to sound like Chief Keef, even though to you it's kind of like this is a sound that this area has been cooking up, and this is just a natural evolution of it.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of subgenres to that shit too.
Yeah, even with the underground shit, like I don't even, bro. They got a million subgenres nowadays. Like I don't listen to underground shit anymore, really. But like shit, I be seeing new subgenres come up on TikTok like every day.
Right.
Somebody's making something new or some like new shit, but it all comes from the same place, you know?
It's weird because the era that people call like SoundCloud rap for a while there, like we all called it like cloud rap, even though a lot of it didn't really sound that cloudy. And then when I look back on it, I'm like, people really refer to Young Lean as having like pioneered that genre, but there was a shitload of SoundCloud rappers that we kind of put into that box as well. And then the mainstream narrative became, oh, this is SoundCloud rap.
Yeah, like mumble rap and all that.
Mumble rap. People just say that all the fucking time back in the day.
Mean, bro?
I was always doing interviews and having to defend mumble rap, but meanwhile being like, what the fuck? Like, I know a lot of rappers.
At that time, like, that shit was so new to people. People
Exactly,
were like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Like, mumble rap. Yeah.
Because that's the era of like
rapping lyrically.
Yachty and Uzi. Like, Uzi refusing to freestyle. Yachty saying that he didn't fuck with Tupac and all that kind of shit. Like, Lil Xan saying he didn't fuck with Tupac. That was such an era of like old heads going to war with the young generation, you know?
Yeah. And like I said, it's even kind of the same now, except the old heads are just like the next generation. You know what I mean? Like all the people who are used to listening to mainstream, they hear all this underground shit.
It'll
and they're
always be like that. It's like,
this shit is trash. You know what I mean?
it's the first reaction of defense, yeah.
That's real.
Appreciate it,
So
bro.
what's your relationship with like Yeat now? Cause y'all
I haven't talked to him in a long time, but like so obviously I knew him just from group chats and shit back in like 2019, early 2020. And then when I had turned 18 in August 2020, I you know, cause before I was 18, bro, my mom never used to let me travel by myself or anything. So as soon as I turned 18, like literally the week after my birthday, I took a flight out to LA. Just to link like all my internet homies out here. We had like a little B&B in Orange County. And that's when I first met Yeat. Like he was living in Long Beach at the time. We went, scooped him, and we were just kicking it at the B&B, just, you know, talking music shit. We were just a bunch of like homies at this time. You know, everybody was just cool and kicking it. Like, I remember that's the first time I met Bristow too, that same week.
We hung out.
Yeah.
How much of an impact do you feel like you've had on his sound? Like, how essential is this union that you guys got going on?
I feel like even though we don't have like hella songs together, but I'm really like, I give him a lot of like
this dude be in the studio
direction
with me every
and like
time.
taste shit. Not to sound like I'm a fucking A&R where I just sit back and go, oh, that's
the
hard.
OMO cover was like his idea.
Yeah, like a lot of the, I don't know, I guess like a lot of the creative direction, even though that's like a terrible umbrella of anything can mean a creative director, but like I do give him a lot of creative direction shit, and like he trusts my input on a lot of stuff. Because especially when like making track lists and stuff like that, like
Bristow's hit, bro. He like, this dude listens to a million different genres of music. Like, he's tapped into everything. So, you know, if I'm asking when it comes to like something creatively, I'm always gonna go to Bristow and ask for his opinion on something, because I just know
even his merch,
knows,
like some of his merch, I like came up with the designs and ideas for. But I don't just sit back and take all the credit for it, but like.
It's just like we're like a big friend group and everybody just gives input. Like, I love having input from 100 different angles, you know. So it's like you know, I'll go and ask around, but this dude is like the first person I go to anytime. So yeah, he definitely, you know, has a big impact on a lot of the shit.
it's crazy to see like the people in the group chats that you was in back in the day, because you got people like Fago, he was in there.
Yeah, even bro, Fago, like I was in Fago's, not his first collective, but his second, or actually, it was his first collective. He had a first collective, it was called Run a World. And this was like, he used to go by I think it was like Trillinese, something like that. And he had just changed his name to Fago. And he had started this collective called Run a World. And I remember I posted this one snippet on my Instagram, and all his fans were commenting on it. They were like, yo, you should get Fago on this. You should get Fago on this. And I didn't know who he was at the time, because like I said, he was super small. He had like 2,000 followers at this time. And so like I looked, you know, because they were all tagging him, and I looked at his page and I was like, bro, this dude is hard as fuck. Like, his music is crazy. Why doesn't, you know what I mean? I was like shocked that he didn't have a bigger audience, because this is when he was making all his old shit. Like, this shit sounded crazy. It sounded so different from anything that was being made at that time too. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna lock in with bro. So like I hit him up, and I ended up sending him that open, and we got that song in. And then he hits me up like a day after we do that song, and he's like, yo bro, you wanna be in like my collective? I'm doing this little collective with a bunch of artists. Like, we all just making music with each other type shit. So I was like, yeah. So like he added me to this group chat, and I was in that collective, you know, and there was like Bryce was in there, which is like his main producer.
To this day.
Yeah, to this day, Bryce is still his producer. And I'm still like, you know, me and Bryce still be talking here and there. But yeah, Bryce is in there. Shit, Wolfface Joey.
Yeah. He's going crazy right now.
Slump 6. Like,
yeah,
like just hella like random people where you wouldn't even expect, you know what I mean? Which is like, it's crazy because you look back at shit like that and you're like, damn, bro, like this really used to be a little community and now everybody's, you know, doing their own thing and everybody's got their own path. But it's cool to see like that everybody came up, you know what I mean? Like everybody that I was around came up. So it's like, it's really, it's like wholesome to see.
Why you and Fago fall out?
Shit, bro, honestly, I don't even know. It was about some dumb shit. Cause I was like 16, 17 years old. And then he was young too. And I think we just got into this big like argument in the group chat. And I don't even know like what it was about.
Yeah.
I was dating this girl like in high school and I had added her to the group chat. And then me and her broke up. I only dated her for like a month. But me and her broke up. And then she goes in the group chat like talking crazy shit.
You like girls in your group chats?
No. Like,
I've never.
So that's the thing.
Oh, okay.
No, hell no.
Because that could get like they're already complicated enough.
Yeah.
You start putting girls in there. Holy shit.
So this girl was from my city, and I like I knew this girl,
like
and
a real homegirl.
She was like she used to listen to all the same music, you know, which was like rare at this time because nobody was listening to that shit. And so like I added her in the group chat. I was like, oh yeah, like I'll introduce you to all these dudes that you listen to. I added her in the group chat, and then me and her broke up, and then she goes in the group chat like saying like, oh, like he broke up with me, like he hates me, like he's not shit. And you know what I mean? And I come in there and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, and there's a bunch of like Captain Save a Hoe ass dudes in there. So they're saying shit. And I'm like,
really? He trying to riz up your old?
Not Fago, but there was a bunch of like other dudes in there that are on some Captain Save a Hoe shit. Cause it's a bunch of young kids in there. So you know what I mean? Like an attractive girl comes in there like, you know, saying this and that. Yeah, obviously all the young men are gonna go in there and
turn
like,
on each other right
yeah,
away.
Fuck him. So it's like, yeah, bro, you know. And I don't even know like really what happened between me and Fago. That's the thing. It was really nothing. So like, you know, obviously years went by and me and him were good. Like I just seen him, we did Cole's 10-year for Lyrical. And we were just in the green room chopping it up for a minute. But yeah. Just some kid shit, bro. You know, I fell out with all those dudes and we're all cool now. So it's like,
it's all love.
Yeah. Even the producers, bro. Like I fell out with them and nowadays, you know, I be getting on their beats and we be chopping it up.
When you're that young and people start getting money and having egos and all this kind of shit at the same time, it's just like so inevitable because dudes don't really have like the social skills to know how to navigate that shit until
bro, like,
they get a bit older, I think.
Even me, when shit started happening for me, like I wasn't necessarily young. I was like 19, but bro, shit just happened so fast. A lot of people don't understand when like shit happens with this music shit. Like when you get introduced to the industry shit, that shit happens so fast, bro. And sometimes, like, I mean, you see a lot of these kids crash out because it's too much for them. Like, shit happens so fucking fast and they don't know how to handle it or how to process it, bro. And they get hooked on drugs or they get, you know, they doing shit that they shouldn't be doing and they crash out about it. Because it's so much for them and they're not used to it. A lot of these kids come from places where, you know, they come out to LA and it's fucking insane to them.
They have access to so much more drugs.
It's like a whole new world out here, bro. For a kid that's coming from like, you know, somewhere like a random spot like Louisiana coming out here, they're like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. Y'all live like this?
Did you get caught up in that when you moved to LA, like partying too much and shit?
Nah, I mean,
not really.
Nah, because I was always coming to LA like growing up. Like, and especially when I turned 18, I was coming out here a lot.
We kept a good circle too.
Like, yeah. I've always had like a good circle of people with me. But I mean, I was partying when I was younger, but like when shit started going up, and I was coming out here, I was really just focused on like staying on my shit and, you know, locking in. Cause I already, you know, I had seen a bunch of kids that I was cool with come out here and crash out. So it's like, I seen them, I'm like, shit, I don't want to be like him. He's broke now. He can't do anything for himself.
I knew girls who like moved out here and then like 6 months later they had to go home and go to rehab.
Yeah.
Like that bro. Fast. Because they're like chicks who would like do coke and shit, but then all of a sudden they're in the club and they got rich guys like giving them coke. And it was just over.
Those clubs are treacherous.
It's a slippery slope.
I hate the club.
Definitely.
Especially the ones here, bro. Oh my God.
I'm so out of touch with that world, but for sure it breeds some of the worst shit on earth.
It breeds
Yeah. I mean, like when
some demons.
Yeah, when I was coming out here like late 2020, like I was kind of going to the club here and there because there were like a lot of events with like the people I was tapped in with, or like even some of the label people. They'd be like, "Yo, come to this event with me," because obviously you know they're trying to bring you around and shit. They'd be like, "Yo, come to this event with me." So you know I was going to all this shit. Man, I just got that shit just gets burnt out so fast, bro. Like I'd rather be at the crib or be in the studio like working.
What was the process of recording the Jensen song?
Shit, I was just at home in my room, like.
So that was before you was even like going out to studios and shit?
Yeah. That was when I was still like at home.
I think that's the first song I seen.
Yeah.
When you did that, like what year was this?
It's 2022. A lot of those songs that you know I have out now are all from 2022.
That all just started.
I haven't really like dropped anything new. Like since we finished touring shit, I'm just now getting back into like dropping shit. So, but yeah, I just recorded that like in my room with my little setup, just engineering myself. I just use FL Studio.
You're a Young Lean fan from back in the day?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, bro. Lean, like I said, because Lean was part of that whole like. He wasn't part of the 2016 main group that came up, but like if you knew about the shit, you knew Lean because Lean influenced all those dudes. You know what I mean? So like, hell yeah.
Did you see the Young Lean BLP Kosher video?
But that song is hard. I just heard that. That song is hard, bro.
That was wild. It's just like it's so random to see like what shit he actually does.
Like that.
He doesn't do features like that.
He doesn't do that much. So when he does, it's just like shit. Like and especially with like a rapper, like because he's so in his own world now.
Yeah. No, that shit is hard. I just heard that shit the other day.
Yeah.
How was touring shit? You just got off tour, right?
Yeah. Shit, insane. Like. You know, being able to go all those places and fucking see like different fans from every fucking city and all these different, you know, in this country and then different countries and fucking Europe, you know, that shit was crazy, bro. I had a blast. It's very draining, definitely, because you know you don't get a lot of sleep. You got to stay on top of shit. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a blast at the end of the day.
But were you like taking care of yourself, or are you just going for it and barely sleeping?
That's the thing, bro. Like when we were about to start tour, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take care of myself. Like I told him, I was like, bro, like
no fast food.
We gotta, you know, we taking energy shots, like the little immunity shots. I was like, we taking these every day. Bro, I get on tour and we're eating at Dunkin' Donuts every morning in fucking gas stations because it's like we
else are you gonna
drove.
do?
So
there's not a Whole Foods in every fucking city.
Nah,
You got to go way out of your way. And the problem is that when the show's done and it's like 10 p.m.
Bro, it's like 10, 11 p.m. Nothing's open.
Yeah.
But all that's open.
Oh
is
yeah,
fast
but
food.
then also like all the chicks that are kicking it backstage with you and shit, to them, this is the only time you're gonna be in town. So they want to hang out till 4 in the morning. And to you, it's like, if you want to do the thing to take care of your fucking mind and your body, it's like you should go back to the hotel and just go to sleep or whatever. But
who wants to go back to the hotel?
It's so hard, and especially when you haven't really like toured that much and shit. So this is still all new to you.
Yeah.
By the time you're 30, maybe you could like opt out, but it's tough to make those decisions when you're young.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I tried to, you know, stay on my shit during tour, but like I said, for the U.S. part, we drove. We had just like a big Sprinter van, so we drove completely across the country. And it's like, yeah, you know, we're driving late at night. There ain't shit open besides a gas station, and all, you know, the driver's just stopping at gas stations to get gas. So all I'm eating is fucking chips and just drinking mad water. But
no Erewhons in the Midwest.
No Erewhons in the Midwest. Yeah.
You only drink water? You don't drink energy drinks?
I mean, there was like a little point in time, actually recently, just from tour, I was drinking a lot of energy drinks, but that shit gave me like super bad anxiety, bro.
Really?
Like I can't. That shit like fucks with my brain.
When you go to a gas station, you need an energy drink. Which one are you drawn to?
Just a Red Bull. Actually, I like the Celsius ones.
Yeah, me too.
Those ones are good. The Celsius ones, and then they got those G Fuel ones too. Those ones are pretty good. But I feel like those don't give me a lot of energy though. Like usually it would just be Red Bull or Celsius.
And then you have gamer aura wherever you go. Like people just see that. And they feel like you might be like ninja or something.
It's a rug on my cup.
It's a different type of swag though. People know it's like, you know what I mean?
Bro, they said they're going to see Danny Mullins tonight.
Oh, really?
I fuck with Danny, bro.
Yeah, that's the homie. What are you guys doing with him? Oh, you can see him do comedy?
He's doing some comedy shit tonight.
He keeps telling me to go.
That guy is insane, bro.
Yeah, he's facing felony charges for
the Tennessee shit.
Yeah, but what did he do? He was like
impersonating a doctor.
Yes. And out here, it's like impossible. It's so hard to get arrested out here unless you like shoot somebody or like sell crack in front of the cops or whatever.
Man,
but
police
out
just
there,
got so much shit going on out here.
They don't got shit going on. They're like, you impersonated a doctor, we're throwing the fucking book at you, bro. Sorry.
Where did he do that at?
Where's it? Tennessee? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just went out there with some video.
Out there.
He's just thinking he's funny.
They probably got his ass on the news in Tennessee for that shit.
Oh yeah, no, for sure they ain't playing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's your current thoughts on like the underground rap scene right now?
Shit, man. I don't know. Like I said, I really haven't listened to underground shit like in a while. I really just got back into like mainstream shit, and I stay on that. I don't know. I see people coming up. They doing their thing. Osama's son hard. I fuck with him. I heard a couple of his songs. I hit him up. I told him I fuck with him because I fuck with his shit. I don't know. I feel like I should pay more attention to a lot of that shit, but it's just like right now, at the point I'm at, I'm really just trying to lock back in and focus on myself and like on my shit right now. Cause like tour ended, I really want to get back into locking back in and getting back on top of my shit. So I've just been super focused on that, bro, and just listening to all the shit. All the mainstream shit, because I'm trying to make more mainstream shit.
Really? So you take more influence from the actual goats of the genre at this point?
100%, bro. Yeah, because I'm trying to take my whole sound and make it mainstream. Like I'm not trying to be tied into underground shit anymore.
Do you consider yourself an underground rapper?
I mean, yeah. I came from the underground, so yeah, 100%. But I want to go on to bigger things. Like I don't want to be boxed in and get stuck in that, in that realm of shit, because I mean it's cool, you know what I mean? Like I could sit here and like keep making underground music and be financially stable for the rest of my life, and be chilling where I'm at. But it's like, bro, I want more than that. Not even like talking money. Like I just want more opportunity. I want to go and work with Pharrell one day. I want to go and work with all these people. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't do that shit if you're just stuck in one realm and you're not moving around. Like I'm constantly moving around, bro. I'm constantly traveling, constantly like linking up with people. I mean, we be doing the most random shit, me and him both. Like we'll end up in the studio with a random ass person and I'll be like, what the fuck?
Today's already random. We're going shooting after this fucking studio later. Like,
yeah, we be moving around, bro. I feel like when I'm stuck at home, like I'm not being productive, and I need to constantly stay productive.
But if you made a song that sounded like a straight up like pop attempt, don't you feel like you might be like alienating a lot of your fans? Like, are you trying to kind of toe the line between those two things?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you gotta so if you're transitioning in, you obviously you're going as an underground artist going into the mainstream. I mean, look at like Yeat's a great example, bro. Like Yeat does a lot more of the mainstream shit now. He has a mainstream appeal. Like, everybody loves Yeat's music.
If we didn't already know, that Drake song really proved it too.
Yeah, 100%. But he did that slowly. He didn't go straight from making songs that sounded like For Life to songs that sounded like the snippets he's putting out now. You know what I mean? Like he slowly kind of kept that sound, but manipulated it into newer and newer things, and then got to where he's at now. So, that fan base stayed every step of the way because he slowly just got everybody accustomed to that.
What's the biggest Plug and B song from your perspective? Or like, there hasn't really been that like smash hit out of that genre that realistically will like lift everybody up.
I mean, there's really just like influential songs like Pack Runner Bitch by like Summers.
All there's a lot of like summer songs and autumn sons, like Nina, for example. Nina was like one of the ones that got super, super big. But it's like you're not hearing that on the radio. You know what I mean?
I feel like the thing is with the underground too is like it's so toxic because it's just constant comparisons, constant like, oh, he's washed now. He wants to be like this. Oh, he's, you know what I mean? Like,
at the end of the day,
they don't let you just make music anymore. It's always like, you sound like
political, bro.
You sound like a mix of Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, and fucking Mac DeMarco. Like, what are you doing,
bro?
Like, bro, what?
But for the most part, you stay out of beef in the underground. You don't really.
Man, I don't give a fuck. I make money. Like, yeah.
That's why you just gotta stick to yourself, bro. Like,
yeah, bro. I have like a whole like life, So I see that shit. I see like that beef shit is like you're too into the internet, bro. Like,
what do you see? What do you think about shit like when you see Summers and Homicide Gang getting into actual real beef at like Box Fest and shit like that?
That's their own shit.
That's their own shit. Yeah, I can't say anything about it just because it's not my business.
But you know, that's kind of funny though, because it's like in the underground, you kind of have like the more nerdy side of it, and then you have like the dudes who are basically street dudes. They just make music that kind of fits more into the underground. You know. So that creates a weird dynamic.
I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing going on. Like I said, I really just focus on my shit. End of the day, I don't be, you know, and even outside of the music, like I have a whole personal life, you know. So you know, I'm trying to buy a house right now. I'm trying to do a lot of shit that a lot of other people wouldn't be doing. So you know. Yeah,
because at the end of the day, a lot of that beef shit is like very tempting to people, but doesn't really like affect your career in a good way.
It's like I don't give a fuck about somebody saying "fuck me" on Twitter, man. I'm buying a crib. What like?
I feel it.
You sitting in bed at your mama crib. What are you doing? So yeah, bro. I don't give a fuck.
What's Travis Scott's influence on you? Because I know you said that you want to transcend to the next level.
I love Travis, bro. Like his music has been, you know, I've been listening to his shit since I was eighth grade. I remember I found Travis Scott when he dropped A-Team. That was like super old song. What was that? Did he drop that after Owl Pharaoh?
That was after. That was like, I think it was in between like Rodeo and Birds, or maybe it was after Birds. I don't know, but I think it came out like 2017. So yeah, around that era, like the Birds era.
Yeah.
I remember I used to party with this one chick that was just listening to what was it, Before Rodeo or Beyond Rodeo or some shit?
Before the rodeo.
Yeah, before the rodeo.
I said it wrong too. And I never thought that like, oh, this guy's gonna be the biggest fucking rapper. I actually thought that she was kind of tripping for thinking it was so good. But here we are.
I love that project, bro. That project is crazy. Yeah.
Why did I say Rodeo?
Yeah, Mama Sita, Drugs You Should Try, all that.
Man, he just had so many gems back then too. Like, man, I used to be so on top of Travis's shit.
Did you think Travis?
Even to this day, I'm like on top of his shit. Like I love Travis's music, bro.
Yeah, but back then, did you see him getting to the level he's at right now?
Yeah, I just feel like he always had that sound, bro. Yeah. And you know, his sound back then was the same thing. It was so different. So you know, he just had like that mainstream appeal. And it's like if you have that mainstream appeal, you're gonna get big, you know.
Also, if Kanye's pushing it, you know it's gonna be fire. Like Kanye has that golden touch with every artist he keeps around. I feel like
marry a Kardashian at some point.
Yeah,
that helps.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely helps.
Definitely doesn't hurt.
You did a song with Destroy Lonely.
Yeah. So
how did that come about?
I had hit Lone Up. This was like right when he got signed to Opium. This was like I think this was early 2022 actually. Yeah.
It was 2021.
Was it 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2021.
Summer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I was in New York. Yeah. I had hit him up because this is when I had like just found his music, and I really fucked with bro at the time. Like finding a new artist like that is always like that's the best thing, bro. When you find a new artist like that. But yeah, so I hit him up and I was like, yo, like I just bought a feature out, bro. I think I paid like $400 for a feature. I was like, yo, get on this song, like, throw you 400. And so he got on it, and we made that song, and I dropped it on this little project I had put out in, like, 2021. Okay, yeah, it was 2020. Fuck, I can't talk right now. It was 2021, because that was that. I had dropped a project called, like, what was it called? Like Planet Pink.
Planet Pink,
yeah. So I had dropped that, and I had that song with goddamn. I had that song with him on there. And like I had that project out for like 2 months, and I don't really have any traction at this time. So like, you know, shit had like 10,000 plays, and I was like, yo, fuck this song. Like I don't like my verse on there. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna go back to it later, and then I'm gonna hold on to it. So I ended up like privating that tape, and then back like summer of 2022. I went back to the song, redid my verse on there, held on to it, because at this time, Penthouse Shorty started going up. So I was like, all right, well, now I got this song with Lone. Lone's obviously way, way bigger now, you know, and Lone's doing a lot more now. I'm going to hold on to this, and I'm going to put this out, you know, I'm gonna put it out, like, soon. So I didn't even put it out like, you know, on all platforms type shit. I just
You had like a hosting page.
yeah, like you know, a lot of the dudes that I was fucking with had like hosting pages on SoundCloud. So I would just send them songs all the time, and you know, they were doing all like Lone shit too. Like they did everybody's shit. They did Lone. They would post a bunch of Cedo exclusives. Like yeah. So I you know, I would just send them songs all the time, and I was like, yo, here, like drop this one, and I think one of them dropped it. And yeah, shit did really good, and that's kind of just how that came to be. So yeah, but I never put that shit out like officially type shit.
You and Lone, you want to work with him in the future or?
Yeah, 100%, bro. I fuck with Lone heavy.
Yeah,
like I've always fucked with his music ever since I discovered him. But yeah, 100%, I would do shit with him.
You feel like Autumn gets the credit he deserves?
Autumn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like
I think Autumn's doing his thing. Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely a regret I have, is that I should have been on them in like 2018, 2019. Like when they first started coming out, I had kind of like lost track of what was going on in the underground. I should have been pushing hard for those types of interviews, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it was really small at that time. You know what fucking like ignited that shit? Like kind of brought the underground a little bit was the Gabby
I was
shit.
gonna say
exactly what I was
that was
saying.
the first thing I saw you guys cover about like Summers or anybody from that shit.
That was
like,
really the thing that brought light to the underground, bro.
It did.
Also Twisty P.
Yeah. You gotta tell our Twisty P story.
It's always the fuck
Everyone
shit.
has a Twisty P story.
Before Twisty P was on Yeat, bro. There's a video of him crashing a car to an old song of mine.
Really?
With the same alien filter.
Two videos, bro.
That's legendary.
So he has the Yoda filter. You've never seen that video of him crashing a car with the Yoda filter?
I think I do remember that, but yeah.
That was my song
was his
playing in that
song,
video.
yeah.
I remember when that shit happened, somebody DM me and they're like, bro, Twisty P just fucking crashed a car to your video. And I'm like, who the hell is Twisty P?
He had
Like,
just gotten the Twiz face tag.
I was like, who the hell is that, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
He's like
And
the
they
Crit
sent me-
Mac of the underground.
Dude, they sent me the video and he like literally wrecks a car.
It starts
He's got
playing,
my
oh
song
God.
playing in the background. So I post that shit. I'm like, yo, this dude is tweaked out. Like this dude's funny as fuck. And I think he hit me up. Yeah, he hit me up. And he was like,
bro.
yo, bro, like I was shooting a music video in Arizona. And he was like, yo, bro, I want to be in your music video. And I was like, fuck it, bro, pull up. So he drove from San Diego. Let me tell you the story, actually. This is an insane
He didn't make
lore.
it smoothly to
Oh my
Arizona.
God.
lore right here.
Oh my God.
We all pulled up to Arizona for that weekend. Fucking,
Dude, nah. So do you remember what happened on his way out there?
Yeah.
So
It took like 2 cars to get there.
it's fucked, bro. So I used to kick it with this one dude who was pretty big on like TikTok. He just did like a lot of TikTok shit. And I'm still cool with him to this day. I don't talk to him as much anymore, but we're still close. But yeah. So I was kicking it with bro. And he had been talking to Twisty a little bit because at this time Twisty was kind of getting like people knew about him, but it was super low key. Like I remember the first time I seen him, he popped up on my TikTok and everybody was like, "Whose fucking dad is this, bro? Like, why are you making TikToks to Yeat?"
Because he looked like such a jock.
Dude, he looked like a frat.
Well, he was
like
a baseball
college frat.
player.
Yeah. You could tell that he
Yeah.
wasn't like some emaciated lean drinker. He looked like
Yeah.
a big strapping young buck.
I mean, at this
He's a
time too,
D1
it was like
player.
it was a lot of kids just listening, like blowing this shit up at the time. So when you see
Yeah.
this big dude like making a fucking TikTok to Yeat, you're like, yo, what the fuck? But anyway, so he hits me up, and he's like, yo, I want to be in your video shoot. So I'm like, shit, all right, bet, like pull up, dude. This guy calls me at 2 a.m. I didn't think he was serious. I'm like, oh, bro, you live in San Diego. Like, you're not, I was shooting this video tomorrow. You're not coming out here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking he's just fucking around.
Cabin.
Bro, he texts me at 2 a.m. and he's like, on my way. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, bro, bet. So he didn't have a car. So he had his friend drive him. He like, I guess he just asked one of his friends, like, yo, drive me out to Arizona. So halfway into the drive, bro, his friend wants to sleep. So he lets Twisty drive. He fucking wrecks his friend's car, bro. Totals his friend's car in the middle of the desert. Middle of fucking nowhere on the road from San Diego to fucking Arizona. Totals his car, right? And I guess he wasn't like that close with this guy. Like I don't know who this dude was, but he wasn't that close with him. So he totals his car. His friend's like freaking out. He's like, bro, like what the fuck? You just crashed my fucking car. You know what Twisty does? He's like, damn, bro. Calls an Uber, keeps coming to Arizona.
Damn.
He just left his friend with a totaled car to come to Arizona, bro.
That's a man on a mission.
He gets out here. I have to
That's
pick him
dedication.
up. I picked him up from like the first gas station when you get into Arizona, bro. And I'm like, bro, how the fuck did you get out here? And he's like, oh, I just Ubered. Like, I just left my friend. I'm like, bro, like, what? You just left him? Like, you don't care about, bro? And he's like, nah, he'll be all right. He's all good. Bro, I guess his friend was like tweaking out and like showed up at his parents' crib like 2 days later, knocking on their door like, yo, your son totaled my fucking car. Like,
and left me, which is crazy.
Bro, it was just a whole crazy scenario.
The more I think about it, the more I think we should have him back on.
Oh, dude.
The last couple of years has been like, really?
Yeah. He wants
The crazy shit too is that so they were doing the live stream podcast with Blasey and House Phone and shit, and Twisty P was supposed to pull up, so he pulls up, and somebody was waiting for him, and they beat the fuck out of him.
That's that one interview y'all did, right?
And then he came on camera, and his face was all fucking bloody and shit.
You've never seen that where he runs in here and he's like, yeah.
No way.
It's at the old spot, bro. Like, somebody hit him with brass knuckles and shit, and we didn't have security or anybody
this was
at
in
that
his,
time.
like, tweaker, his full like prime tweaker era.
Like 2020.
Like really letting loose.
And then it's kind of a shame because Blasey like turned off the live stream because he felt bad about it. But I would have just talked to the motherfucker even with the bloody face.
Nah, dude. So
talked to him.
So that week he was in Arizona with us that week and like
partied with
he's
us.
like a big kid, bro. Like at this time too, he was on I'm not even gonna say, but you know, at this time he was more like grounded. He wasn't the Twisty P the internet saw. Like he was he was just like a big kid. Like he obviously, you know, like he needed some guidance, but you know, he was cool and we were there, you know, we were taking care of him, bro. Like I sent him to my homeboy Jay's crib and, you know, Jay was taking care of him and every day I was going to fucking link with them, bro, and we were just fucking what did we do? We went
to a couple parties.
Yeah.
You had like a fucking house party show that we did.
Yeah, bro. So I performed at this fucking like house party in Arizona.
Everywhere.
Like the most just fucking like random shit ever. I was standing on top of like a kitchen countertop, like performing with a mic that didn't even work.
Yeah, I was just playing
and then
songs.
You see Twisty in the middle with his shirt off, like moshing with a bunch of
biggest
like
man in
18-year-olds, bro, like 17, 18-year-olds that are in there, and he's fucking tweaking out, bro. Like it looked so insane, but. Yeah, no, we kicked it out there with him. Kind of just took him around Arizona. And then that's when he went back home. And then like 2 weeks later, bro, is when all the...
He went up.
It just went... Yeah, he went up and shit went downhill. Yeah, bro.
Basically. All the viral shit was all like pretty bad for him overall.
I feel bad, bro. Like he's a good kid.
He's a good person, yeah.
He had like just the wrong hand.
I think he just got let the internet wrap him up.
Yeah, because like his mom is the nicest lady ever too, bro.
Really?
Like she's very, very nice. Like really tries to take care of him and shit. I think it was just a mix of like bad influence, bro, and just getting carried away, and then not even drugs, bro. He didn't even do drugs or anything. Like, because I remember everybody would be like, "Oh, he's on drugs, bro." He just genuinely like. He's not mentally there like that.
I remember thinking that he was on drugs and then having people kind of correct that, being like, no, he's just like that.
He had like an accident, like I mean, everybody knows this now. He had like a baseball accident. So like that's kind of what led to that shit. But yeah, bro, like I don't know. He's a good kid, bro. He just, like I said, just mix of bad influence and getting carried away with shit.
Definitely. So what do you got coming up that you're excited about that the fans should look out for?
Shit, bro, just new music, new videos, everything. So yeah, I'm just really trying to stay on top of shit with just being consistent and really just taking my time to work on music. Like I think a lot of the music I was making before, I wasn't taking my time on as much as I do now. Like I'll be in the studio, I'll go back to songs 10 times over. Really just having like a full creative process with everything I'm doing.
Definitely. What are you trying to like have a official album at any point in the future, or what's your thought process on that?
Yeah. So I mean, the On My Own album was kind of like, I'd say like my first. It was my first studio album.
So you count that as an album, okay? I
count that as a studio album because I fully did that album in the studio. But the work that I'm gonna put out from like here on is way more. Obviously I'm trying to take the more mainstream approach with shit. And trying to really just like take the time with my shit and put a lot more components into my music.
More polished sound.
Yeah, more polished, bro. Like more worked on.
What would be your dream mainstream feature?
Shit, Drake, bro. Like I grew up on Drake, so that's like, Yeah, most definitely. Other than Drake, probably Future, Thug, Don Toliver. Really like Don Toliver's music. Yeah, bro. There's a lot of dudes that I fuck with.
Definitely. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Of course, bro. I appreciate it.
Everybody,
appreciate y'all having me.
Go turn them up on all streaming services.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Everybody, No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support. Oh.